Hey everybody, it's Jax again from the Pop and Review Podcast. Today on episode 57, AEW Dynamite 6th year anniversary from Hollywood, Florida. No, just kidding. But yeah, decent show. Honestly, it was, I guess, just building up to Wrestle Dream. I think that's the next pay-per-view in a couple weeks. So it just kept having a lot of things go on about that. You did have the start of the night, the Young Bucks, happy that they were at a casino, and one of them went and started gambling, lost all their money, while the other one was making phone calls to try to, you know, um, get their pyro and their entrance going. And finally, when they met back together, they're broke. And he goes, "Man, we just need the money. I got the pyro, I got everything on standby, I got the cash cannons, I got everything. We just need the money." And when he goes, grabs the bag, completely empty. To the point, the Bucks didn't even get an entrance. They were just in the ring, and they had a little caption underneath, "The Broke Bucks." So the Bucks are broke again. Um, it's just funny altogether, guys. It's just funny as shit to see the Bucks actually put themselves in that situation and be good at it, if that makes sense. But this match was the Bucks and Shawn Alexander. They still have that partnership with the Don Callis family versus Kenny Omega and Brodito, the tag team champions. Now, good match, honestly, guys. The Bucks again are broke. You have Kenny doing this thing. Of course, Kenny was going to be there for the 6th year anniversary. He was there from the start. Why wouldn't he be there for the 6th year? A lot of people are upset that Kenny's always getting hurt and kind of being off screen for a few months. But guys, Kenny went through a major surgery with that diverticulitis, I think it's called. Don't quote me on that, but something to that effect. So he was injured. He's still building his body back up. We're lucky that we could even see Kenny Omega as much as we are seeing. But great match with Kenny and Brodito, and they were doing their thing, man. Like the three of them worked well together. I don't know if Kenny's worked with Brody King or Bandito, honestly, but I know he's worked with Shawn Alexander and some people from the Don Callis family, like the Bucks and stuff. So it made sense. This match was good. There was a couple spots there. You had Kenny Omega and Bandito doing the Macarena. They try to get Brody King to do it. He keeps going like, nah, nah. At some point, I see Brody King doing it. He may not want to, but it's going to be funny as hell when he does do it. Maybe at Wrestle Dream, but we'll see, guys. We don't really know. Um, there was a couple spots there too when Brody King was just like body slamming everybody or suplexing everybody to the ground and just kept hitting one of the. I think it was Shawn Alexander, and then even Kenny was like, "Come on, do me next, do me next," and he slams Kenny. And then Brodito jumps into the ring. He was like, "Come on, come on," and he was like, "Hold on, no, 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 I'm gonna slam you." So he slammed Brody King onto Shawn Alexander. Great, great spot. Honestly, it was just really good. Young Bucks doing their thing during the match. Like I mentioned, Kenny and Brodito doing their thing. Nice to see different people in the ring. They've been pushing the Don Callis family hard. I feel like every week we're seeing somebody from the Don Callis family on TV. So good all around three-way or triple threat or trios match, let's just say. Um, but Kenny and Brodito actually pull it off, and Brodito and them kind of like high fived them, or Brody King and Bandito kind of high five Kenny. Kenny stayed in the ring. He kind of had a face off with the Bucks, and before they could even say anything, the Bucks looked ashamed, if anything. And before they can get any words in, boom, Shawn Alexander jumps on Kenny, starts beating him down. A couple other guys from the what's it called, from the Don Callis family come. There's so many now. Like I think they got like 15 people on that fucking roster. But they started beating down on Kenny. You had Jurassic Express music hits. They actually come to the ring and face off with the Young Bucks. So there's an issue there. And then Kenny actually got into it a little bit with Jack Perry. So there's gonna be a little probably a back and forth or a fight with those two guys or a match with those two guys. But they kind of the four of them, Jurassic Express and the Young Bucks, kind of fight it off and kind of make their way to the back. Kenny grabs the mic, tells everybody like he's happy that he's been there. He's there because of you guys. If this is your first time watching us, thank you. If you've been here since day one, thank you. Like just giving the fans their flowers. A lot of people said AEW wouldn't be here past what 4 years, 3-4 years, and boom, It's been 6 years in the making, and more years to come. Honestly, like it's just been growing that much more. Their fan base is growing. People are watching AEW. That's all I'm hearing now on social media. Yeah, people keep watching WWE, and that's what they're used to. But a lot of people are switching over and watching both brands. So happy to see them finally getting their flowers. But again, one of the big things that happened from here was, Kenny's giving the fans flowers, saying thank you for everything. I'm here because of you. We're here because of you. And then the lights go out. So didn't know who it was going to be personally. We do have a bunch of people that turn the lights off, like Sting, Darby. So I was kind of, at first, I'm like, what the hell's going on? Why would Sting or Darby be interrupting Kenny? It was just odd to me. Well, what ended up happening is the lights come out, masked figure with a mask, black mask, brown suit. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. It is Andrade. Looking jacked, mind you. He looked fucking jacked. Well, WWE released him or he quit, one of the two. I think it was only like a couple weeks ago that someone announced this, and boom. Not even 30 days, if I'm not mistaken, and he's already back in AEW. They're saying that he's the first one to jump from WWE to AEW to WWE and then back. So, Andrade, hopefully you do your thing here. You should be a champion, international, what was it called? Unified champion. I mean, Ring of Honor champion. You should be something. Andrade, can't wait to see what you got in store. But I'm a little surprised because at first Don Callis gets in the ring and look hesitant, and then they shake hands and kind of hug it out. And then they kind of say he's with the Don Callis family. But I'm surprised that he didn't jump with LFI. He was with those guys. So what happened? What's going on with Roosh? What's going on with the Beast Mortos? What's going on with those guys? Like, why aren't you joining with them? And yeah, there's probably gonna be a rivalry, with the Don Callis family and LFI. But it's like you guys only have 4 members in LFI or 3 members in LFI. The Don Callis family got like 15 fucking members. If you count Don Callis, they're fucking stacked. Honestly, if they add a couple women to their group would be unstoppable. I wouldn't be surprised if they hold more titles at some point. Trios titles, tag team titles, AEW World Champion. Hopefully it's Kyle Fletcher before Okada, but I'd be okay with Takeshita personally. But Andrade, guys, is back in AEW, and he has joined the Don Callis family. Did not see that coming. Did not see that fucking coming, guys. Did you? Because I sure as hell did. Had a recap from like year 1 all the way to year 6 of all the different matches, moments they've had, everything like that. So it was just a nice video package. I think it was a few minutes long, personally, like 2 to 3 minutes, maybe even 5 minutes long. Great match or great recap for the last 6 years. You did have Orange Cassidy, who stepping in for Hologram because now he's hurt, against Kyle Fletcher. Guys, Kyle Fletcher showed his strength, his size in this match. Yeah, Orange Cassidy got his nice little goofy gimmick, but both of them did a tremendous job, especially for this match not even supposed to be taking place. My hat's off to you guys. You guys did a tremendous job. Kyle Fletcher looked good. Orange Cassidy been missing for a few months, so nice to see you in the ring. Yeah, you had a match last week, but this is a one-off, like a singles match, so nice to see that. Hope in the future you are the one to hold the TNT championship. You like the open challenge when you had the international, so it just makes sense. Don't know if they were going to pull the trigger for you for the AEW World, but we'll see, guys. But Kyle Fletcher actually wins the match. He looked frustrated throughout the match against Orange. Orange got that crazy stamina and crazy moveset, kind of slow. He pretends like he's hitting you, and then he goes kind of ape shit on you. And then Hologram comes out, cost Orange the match, and then walks out with the Don Callis family, takes off his mask, and shows that he's the clone of Hologram. So even though Hologram is gone, the clone of him or his evil side has joined the Don Callis family. So now when Hologram comes back from his injury, he's going to already know that his evil self or clone is already in AEW. Let's see, guys. But again, so last night alone, Andrade joined the Don Callis family and Hologram's clone or Hologram Evil, whatever you want to call it, has joined the Don Callis family. And they were all standing strong in front of the jumbotron, and they were all like celebrating and shit. Guys, the Don Callis family looking strong. Like, I don't even know what to say anymore. They just looking strong. They're whooping people's asses. Yeah, some of them guys are losing, but they hold two titles for AEW in that team alone, with the potential to be trios and tag team champions. And honestly, they're missing one person, because I could have sworn you were missing Trent Beretta. Actually, two people. Trent Beretta, because I didn't see him. He might have been there, but I didn't see him. And you're also missing Brian Cage. How the fuck do you guys not all have belts? Like, literally, you guys should have all the fucking belts in Ring of Honor and AEW. You guys are fucking stacked. You guys have like a third of the roster in the Don Callis family. But we'll see how it goes. I wonder if you guys are excited about Andrade. I'm kind of excited. Felt like they really didn't do a lot with him in AEW. But let's see, guys. Andrade is back. What do you guys think? You did have Hangman versus with the Ops versus the Death Riders. Now, really good match. You saw Samoa Joe and Hangman kind of like off with each other from the beginning. He kind of like, even when Hobbs tagged in at one point trying to get the hot tag, they both had their hand down. Hangman jumped in first, and the ref stopped Joe. And Joe's like, "What the fuck, man? He hit my hand, you know." So Joe's mad. Hangman does his thing, wins the match for the team. So I'm just gonna, long story short, Hangman wins the match for the team. The ref is actually passing the belts. Hangman grabs the belts from the ref, gives his belts to Hobbs, hands it to him, hands the belt to Joe, and Joe wasn't fast enough, drops the title, and Hangman walks away, and Joe's like, "Yo, what the fuck, man? You showed me disrespect." Now, Hangman comes back and kind of says, like, "Well, he dropped the title, but it did look like Hangman was being a dickhead and kind of threw it at him, like just shoved it in his chest." So I can see why Joe's mad. And Joe's like, "Man, you never fucking beat me." He was like, "You never beat me." He goes, "You the champ, but you never beat me." And they kind of go back and forth. They have security come out. Hobbs separates them. Hobbs actually started getting with security. He's like, "Yo, man, I fucking got him, man. Like, y'all chill the fuck out." So they leave. But Hangman says, like, "Yo, this is what it's all about. You said I never beat you before. How about me and you at Wrestle Dream?" Okay, Joe versus Hangman at Wrestle Dream. I get it. But how is Joe getting a title shot if you go by wins? Joe's been in the trios team for the last few months, if not year. How do you have enough singles wins to be next man up? Like, where's the bracket? I don't think I've ever even seen the bracket except for like when it first started. Where's the bracket? If anything, Hologram with being undefeated in AEW should be next man up against Hangman. Isn't that what they said? Women's and men's world, it was by design, by wins to get that opportunity. What happened to that? Did they get away from that, or they're just not saying anything about it? But we'll see, guys. But again, Joe versus Hangman at Wrestle Dream for the AEW World Championship. We'll see how that plays out. Thomas Tony Storm had a match against Ty Mello. Ty Mello was kind of like the heel in this, if it makes sense, even though she's been the face for the last few months or weeks that she's been back. So it's kind of odd, but decent match too. It was a quick match, personally, but a decent match. Put her on display. Ty Mello hasn't been in the ring in a while, so it made sense. Put her in a little quick match. Tony Storm gets her rub off of that, But Tony kind of looked distraught, kind of looked disheveled. She was wearing a pantsuit, kind of like a mafia boss, if anything, or something like that. But she did kind of like put Chris Statlander on notice, like, "Yo, you beat me in a four-way. You didn't beat me one-on-one. Let's run this shit back." So them two are gonna wrestle at Wrestle Dream. Chris Statlander did accept. You do have Chris Statlander and Darby Allin versus Yuta and Marina Shafir from the Death Riders. Good match. They were all over the place. They were all over the arena. They were inside the ring, chairs everywhere, thumbtacks everywhere, or in the corner. I thought Yuta was going to get body slammed. Chris Statlander actually slams Marina Shafir feet first into it. She got thumbtacks on her feet. Boom, Marina Shafir loses for the team. Actually, Marina Shafir choked out Yuta because she got powder thrown in her eyes. And that's how that went. But it's honestly crazy, guys. Like, crazy, crazy, crazy. Chris Stat and Darby win. But then you have, after the match, you have Tony and Chris Statlander kind of face off with each other, kind of smiling. And then they just start brawling. Pac actually saves Yuta after the match because Darby kept beating Pac's ass. or Darby kept beating Yuta's ass, so Pac saves Darby. Um, and then Mox pretty much says like, Darby, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna make you quit at Wrestle Dream. Don't worry, I'm making you quit at Wrestle Dream. I don't see that happening personally. I do not see that happening. Darby's gonna be unconscious for you guys to sit there and say that he says I quit. So we'll see, guys. Nice mat or nice AEW 6th year anniversary. Nice recap. The Bucks are broke. Andrade's back. Hologram is there. Hologram's clone is there. A bunch of matches announced for Wrestle Dream. Joe versus Hangman. Chris versus Tony. What do you guys think, guys? Let me know in the comments. You guys have a great one.